What's going on, everyone? This is Michael Stewart-Isaacs.
And this is Shemekka Ebony.
And this is your next edition of
Sunday
Stacks.
Stacks.
Yes, Sunday Stacks is back, and this is a special edition. Why? Not just because it's Sunday Stacks, but it is our holiday special. Yes, this is the night of Christmas Eve. For yes, those who celebrate Christmas, Christmas Eve is here, and we here at Sunday Stacks are so excited to continue the tradition of our Sunday Stacks episodes. Yes, though it's the holidays, we still have to make sure that week for week we're stacking up. So we hope commitment. We got to consistency, and that's the key to everything. So I hope you all are finding your ways through your holidays to not only be consistent, but also finding all your last minute Christmas joy. I know me, Miss Shemekka, I'm out here trying to get all these last minute presents going, get them wrapped, get them ready for our children, and just be ready. And I'm just always excited that Christmas time is just a joyous occasion, just to be able to just see that surprise on your kid's face when you get that toy that they weren't expecting, or maybe that cool outfit or something, So anything that pops out to you about the holiday seasons for Christmas Eve?
I've learned to be focused on creating memories, and I've gotten more fixated on that through the years versus the material things. I think having, as I said last week, 2 generations of kids. My 2.0 is, not getting the commercialized rundown of what Christmas is, but really creating moments, creating experiences. We had a family skate night last night with my sister and her kids. So the cousins got together. So that was good to be able to create these experiences that they can look back on that'll last much longer than your Energizer battery or that toy that it goes inside of.
Yes, and that brings us to our topic of today, relationships. We are talking relationships for the holiday seasons. We're talking about relationships for 2024. Are we really, really seeing our relationships as something that is the utmost, the thing that we should value in our lives? And we want to make sure during this holiday season that we're being very intentional to go out there and find those family members, those friends, those long lost loved ones that you can reach out to and just say, hey, I'm thinking about you. Hey, I hope you're doing well. Hey, I don't want anything more than just to let you know I acknowledge your life and your existence and just wanted to say hello. Just those simple things that sometimes, people take for granted.
All right, now, I just want to get warning, because you can be that compassionate and be full of empathy, reaching out to friends and family. But when you authentically ask someone how they're doing, you better be ready to listen to what they got to say. And it may not be as holly jolly as you anticipated, or maybe even the last time you spoke with them. So I would say it's important to be led so that you don't get pulled down someone else's street that you may not have been prepared for when you thought you were just saying hello and happy holidays.
And that's true. And I think that kind of sticks out when it comes to just relationships. We don't want relationships that are burdens, but sometimes when our own side of a relationship, sometimes we could be considered a burden on others, right? You just never know where you're coming in. But I think the key to relationship is reciprocity, being able to give as much as you get. And I think that's hard because sometimes people don't have those moral thoughts to say, hey, maybe I should be a little bit more thoughtful in how I approach this relationship or this friendship or this partnership that I want to be involved in. What is it that they want out of me, and how do I consistently deliver that? There goes that word again, consistency, right? And I think that's the key to relationships, is those who are consistent. I think when we look at ourselves as parents, and we out there that have parents or maybe grew up with a single parent or maybe grew up in foster systems or whatever, it's key to anything was the relationships, the time, the amount of time you spent with the person. That's what fostered and built the relationship. And I think we have to now, ask ourselves in this holiday season, who are we spending our time with? Who are we taking the time out to travel for and go see? And then when we have to get over this holiday season, who are we looking to be in business with? Who are we looking to be in company with? Who are we looking to, talk to with our work that we never spoke to before? Like, we have to start looking at relationships in new ways that really stretch us a little bit, allow for us to walk into other people's worlds. But at the same time, to your point, we don't want to get ourselves so bogged down that we suck ourselves into a black hole of despair. And
right. Right. Well, I mean, and it's not like I'm trying to be like Debbie Downer and say there's no good thing on the other end of the phone. But we treat relationships and resolutions much the same. At the end of the year, we're trying to drop them all. And at the beginning of the year, we're trying to start new things. So I just think we need to reevaluate our cycles that happen. Like, you should get tired of getting to the end of the year every year and wanting to feel like you have to change your relationship. You didn't think about that in June? That didn't cross your mind in August.
Right.
Why we gotta wait till December? This person has been consistently inconsistent in your life all year. You gave them 12 months of chances. Why all of a sudden when we get to the end of the year, we want to feel like it's time to cut people off? You're going to pick them back up by February.
Right. And I think that's a good way to think about it. I think, we all kind of get into that little, I laugh, you say February. It used to be a joke back in the days when it came to relationships, prior to my marital bliss days, you would be in relationships. They always say you always cut off a relationship right before Christmas and you don't try to get back with anybody until after Valentine's Day. So that way you save yourself the headache. So that's more
Where
intimate,
those rules at?
right? I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, brothers. I done told one of the covenant rules out there.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, see, but hey, I'm off that too.
You long gone from that.
I'm long gone from that. But for the listeners out there that's still trying to learn the rules to the game, when it comes to those more personal relationships. But and for me, I'm really just equipping myself with friendships and, brotherhoods and really trying to push myself to, be more intentional, to really find genuine friendships. I think over the years, as anyone trying to start businesses or build community, you do have to maneuver in a way that you're making sure that the people you're giving time to are worthy and worth it, and that goes both ways, because you don't want people doing things that aren't quite in alignment with where your soul or your spirit is saying you need to be. So, you have to choose that carefully. But now I'm at that season where I've been very careful to, I've been fortunate by God to choose the people who I asked him to bring in my life. And since I've seen these people show up and reach out and have great conversation and communications, it's now up to me to cultivate the relationship, have intentional lunch dates, have invites to the household. We're finding a couple friends that we can start to build with and grow with. But I want to be even more intentional, and I encourage our audience as well, too. So let's take a reset for a moment. Definitely want to say thank you to our sponsors. As always, we're grateful to be sponsored by Quickbooks. Yes, Quickbooks, the accounting software for business owners as well as those trying to keep their personal lives or those side hustles together. QuickBooks software is definitely the choice of choices that we use here at our different platforms. And we're grateful for the tool. And you have any sponsors to shout out?
Yeah, special shout out to Forum. We're super excited to have an empowering female leaders group kicking off. You want to go ahead and sign up for that January 6th session. We are getting out of the gate. The seats are filling. So be the one that has your name on a seat so that we can make sure that we not only fill your cup, but help you create a pathway into what your leadership journey is going to be at. So check us out at joinforum.com for more information about the platform and to join Empowering Female Leaders Group. Make sure you check me out at Shemekka.com and go ahead and sign up.
There we go. So as we check back in on our relationships for 2024 and we're having this holiday season, you had alluded to it earlier, but yes, in our relationship journey, we were very intentional to create family gatherings. Yes, during the holidays, sometimes you don't know exactly on the day of where you're going to be, who you're going to be with. But we made new rules this year where we said, you know what, leading up to the holidays, we can find our own dates and times to still be very intentional with loved ones and say, hey, this is your special day. This is your special time. And we had that luxury and that pleasure to do that with your sister and her family. And that was such an amazing experience to see our family members get together, our young men, our brilliant bunch, just coming together, see their cousins and just seeing that time. But most importantly, we went skating. Yes, we went to the skate rink. Oh, my goodness. I forgot how much fun skating is, right? So me, of course, I had to play the father seat and, help my sons as they were first learning. The youngest of our sons, this was their first time learning to skate. And so I had to kind of find myself in that father training space where you want your kid to already know, but you got to go back to the beginning. and you gotta, just remind yourself all the little, how do you stop? How do you start? How do you keep your balance? How to fall properly? You have to kind of find yourself going through that. But it was just a great experience. But most importantly, back to our theme of relationships, to see the auntie help my son and just have those moments to just build with my little nephews and just having that cross parenting moment. Like, I hope all of us out here in the Sunday Stacks family, y'all can appreciate that. Like, we got to love that. Like how we have sisters and brothers and siblings and the village. Yes, yes, yes. And that's something we used to talk about all the time in our original Sunday Stacks. We used to always talk about the village, just that village and tribe mentality in regards to how we come together and we make ourselves feel abundant, because what I have, you have, and what you have, I have. And with that kind of principle in our heart, there's no reason for us to ever feel like there's any lack. And I wish we could really find that spirit to really create reasons not to have lack. I know here in the U.S. and we have listeners all around the globe, we definitely have a lot of privileges and things that allow for us to gather in very unique and fun ways. So, it's just something to be grateful for and show greater gratitude. But also, too, like I said, I encourage you all, like outside of the holidays, be very intentional, even up into holidays, to gather with family, gather with friends. I know there's holiday parties and, I'm sure people got great stories. We've had some great holiday parties over this season. And that's, again, what I'm saying. Like, I'm finally in a position in my life, and this is me getting more personal, but I can let my proverbial hair down and finally really just be in the driver's seat of my life and enjoy friendships and relationships in a whole new way that doesn't feel like I have to find some angle or find some opportunity out of it. It's like, no, now I'm in some good spaces. I've proven my work and my worth. And, and that part is hard because you do all of it for your family. You're not just out here doing it for yourself. You're trying to grow something. You're trying to find opportunity. You can't waste time. Not because I'm trying to be cold to somebody, but I got a family to feed. I don't got but so much the free time or anything. It's like every second got to be towards the end, right? And then when you're trying to help community, it's like that's another thing. You don't got no time to be playing. Like, people really need these helps. People are really in trouble out here in the world. So it's like, these things have allowed for me to spend my time, take these moments serious. But now I'm like, all right, we got this under control. We got these relationships. We got these teams starting to build. Now, what can we really do with it to make it more healthy and make it stronger and make it more unified so we can all really see the abundance we all deserve?
That's so good. I was able to have an opportunity when you talk about relationships, just seeing even how my son, who's an entrepreneur in the music industry, being a DJ, talking about his team and how, I was advising him on some things, and apparently he decided to take it back to the team. And he came back to me and said, Mom, they like the idea. Like, I was looking for their approval or something, or hopes to be right. But I just told him how proud I was to hear that he has a team and how important that was to be able to grow with each other. And he talked about how, he's I guess gleaned from coming to Black Girl Magic Market experiences and has now inspired his team to create marketplaces at their DJing parties that they have, so that those that have businesses, I think it's like a cookie business that'll be present at their next event. So they all are doing their thing and seeing how they can break bread together. And I think it's so powerful because he's learning a lesson now that I see many adults struggle with, the collaboration over competition. He's learning that now in his youth and his relationship building, to not only have fun together, but build together.
I love it. Well, I mean, we definitely love what our children are seeing in us. We continue to hope that all of us out here just continue to empower our kids, build strong relationships with them, allow for them to understand the importance of building strong relationships early, especially if it's entrepreneurial with their friends, because who you grow with early can become the people that you grow with side by side over the years and continue to flourish. So with that, we're going to shift our conversation about relationships to our, you ready? Whiz of the week, whiz of the week. Yes. This whiz of the week is a special whiz of the week. I guess this is what we're going to call Hollywood on trial. Yes, yes. Hollywood once again is on trial. And we're not talking about just the Screen Actors Guild or the Writers Guild of America. We're talking about all the different actual trials that are going on in Hollywood today, as well as comments that were made in regards to pay equity in Hollywood. So I know you all know what I'm talking about. Let's first start with the story of Jonathan Majors. Yes, Jonathan Majors, the actor that just rushed to the scene over the last year, just, seemed like he was everywhere in every movie, every #1 box office. And then all of a sudden, boom, life and tragedy happened. Jonathan Majors found himself caught up at a screening or a premiere he was going to, got into an altercation with an ex-girlfriend. And then voila, boom. Jonathan Majors got a legal issue going on that's been going on for several months. It had his career in limbo, and now the final verdict is in. He has been convicted of the charges against him in regards to assaulting his girlfriend. It's an unfortunate story. It's hard to believe all the factors of it, but it definitely is something that you got to leave to the courts to make those final decisions.
Take notes, men. Take notes.
Yeah.
Be watchful. Yeah. How your connections to people. One thing I learned very early on that I want to lift up that's important is don't deal with people that don't have as much to lose as you do.
Say that again.
Don't deal with people that do not have as much to lose as you do.
And I think that's the key to this here. We won't go through all the other talking points that I'm sure people have talked to this story in nauseum. All we like to do here with the Wizard of the Week is talk about the cautionary tales of things that are the headlines that we're all too familiar with. But at the same time, the headlines that tend to be the things that keep us a little bit distracted. But this in particular one was very important because of the verdict, because of the outcome. There was a unique perspective that you ask yourself is, for all of this trouble that he got himself into, I wonder who was the girl that was on the other line.
Megan.
Was it? Megan. Oh, boy. And you think to yourself, right? You saw Megan Good, the actress who was with Jonathan step for step through this. And I'm not sure if he'll actually see prison time, but he may have some probation time. Of course, it affected his contract situation with Disney and how they saw, I guess, his behavior in this instance. And again, for what he's convicted with, definitely despicable behavior that, no one should definitely put their hands on anyone.
But there's an injustice. I've met people that that are Disney execs or below, actors or whatever, that have probably beat the brakes intentionally on a recording of their partner, significant other, and they did not get flushed down the drain. But here we are with an example of this black man being made an example. And now who's going to fill that next one role that only, it's like one black man at a time in this whole Marvel Disney universe? Who is going to be next?
I know, and I love Jonathan Majors, but, me and him kind of favor each other. So, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm always
better than Jonathan.
I'm always SAG ready. If Disney needs me, I don't mind. Jonathan, no problem. You know what I'm saying? Respect. But at the same time, I could jump in them roles real easy. I'm a Marvel's expert. I already know these characters. Kang the Conqueror. Just throwing it out there. But outside of that, also with the Wizard of the Week, we also have to pivot because this week during a press junket with Taraji P. Henson, she had mentioned to one of the press reporters, she was talking about the pay disparities in regards to being a top tier actress such as herself, yet finding herself constantly having to take pay cuts to get roles in Hollywood, to have to fit budgets, to, be able to accommodate production teams, you name it. She didn't go through all those details, but someone like myself who has a background in Hollywood, I can only imagine what she's been asked to endure or do to get roles, and at the same time never see that top tier payday that allows her to be in a more leveled up position that she could be financially stable. And she broke it down really good. So did you get a chance to see that clip, Ms. Shemekka?
I did see a powerful, beautiful, brilliant woman broken down by a system that she thought that she could be the one to change things. She thought she could be the one to create a pathway. And I just want to say she has. This conversation has lifted up the nakedness in the kitchen of some scenarios of, here's a clear example of you cannot dismantle the master's house using this tool. So there's not going to ever be an equitable way to dismantle Hollywood's systemic inequities because the stacks are against us. They want us to entertain. They want us to be eye candy, but they don't want to pay us what they get on the back end for someone enjoying seeing us, whether it's in film or acting, voiceover. The pay inequity is something that I've been very passionate about through the years to address the gender pay gap, and also amplify ways of creating solutions to guard ourselves for that in a system that we cannot dismantle in one generation. And so I have been an advocate even for tools like the Community Bill of Rights, that really lift up the conversations around transparency as well as pay equity so that we can have these hard conversations and people can feel valued and not feel like they have to take this and be sold a bag of air saying, well, your presence in this movie will open new doors. If those new doors are already in ink too, then I think there's some things that we can learn from Taraji for those that are up and coming in the business, that all money ain't good money, and some things it may be a good time to say no to.
And I love it. I love it. And I think even from my Hollywood days, I'm always encouraged just to say, like, the best people that make it the furthest, the actors that have an entrepreneurial spirit. You know, I know Taraji is a phenomenal actress, and I know that entrepreneur inside of her is starting to roar in regards to what opportunities that God will bless her with. So we're going to keep that sister uplifted, as well as everyone else in the acting community in Hollywood, all the actors out there, black, white, everybody out there who's out there trying to find roles, trying to hang in there, figure out the system. Just hang in there. It was a system that used you as a tool, as a prop. And nowadays we want more. We want to be able to afford more and do more. Just give it time and patience. But again, new systems and new opportunities have to erect. And we definitely want to keep Hollywood in check and make sure that they stay on trial so they can keep it honest and cool with everyone in the industry as we all look to find new industries and new ways to distribute and monetize our opportunities. So,
well, something good that she brought up, and I want to make sure we lift up, is the fact that she talks about how she has to take care of a team. And I think that's the missing link of any entrepreneurial journey, that when you become a successful entrepreneur, you're not doing that alone. This is not a solopreneur journey. But as you grow and you scale and you become more successful, you have to have more people around you to help hold you up. And so when it comes to that team building, even back to what we talked about relationship, it takes money to make that happen. And sometimes we find ourselves cornered into positions because we have a large family or a large team to take care of that would go after so many things that may not have our best interest, but we feel like that's all we have as an option to choose from.
I love it. Well, as we always want to encourage everyone out there to please like and subscribe here at Sunday Stacks. If you like these conversations and you want more, please listen to past episodes. We will continue to keep stacking up all the way into the new year. So our next episode will be a New Year's Eve episode. So we're super proud of what we got cooking up for that. But for right now, we definitely want to continue to tell you all to have a happy holiday, happy end of Hanukkah, happy Merry Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, all the above. Yes, we are preparing for any holidays that we might have missed. We just want you to understand we're in a season of joy and celebration, regardless of the consumerism. We definitely want to continue to send good positivity. And like I said, for 2024, you can come spend some money with me, because I'm out here to sell some things. I'm out here to do some speaking. I'm out here to get these sponsors together and continue to help us grow these platforms.
Yes, and head right over there to Shemekka.com and get your books, While I'm Getting Naked and Sanctuary Life, to kick off your 2024 with something more.
Yes, and definitely check out all of our platforms. Follow us on Instagram, Michael Stewart-Isaacs, at Shemekka Ebony. We'll have all that in the description. But definitely, we thank y'all for tuning in to this edition of Sunday Stacks. As we always say, I am brilliant.